Hey guys, welcome to an episode of That Thing I Played, or whatever I decide to call it until I come up with an actual name. My name is Najee, and today we're going to be talking about Go Mecha Ball, and that comes to us from Whale Peak Games. Go Mecha Ball is a roguelike that is focused on movement and frantic combat. That's what I say. The Steam page has it down as a twin-stick shooter with roguelike progression and arcade-style levels using pinball-style physics, and I'd say that's pretty on point. Makes a lot of sense to me. So the story in this one is pretty simple. A portal appeared in the sky, and basically robot spiders fell out. Those who survived this initial spider attack, they went underground to figure out what they could do about it. And finally, they were able to build robots that, you yourself, as whatever protagonist you pick, can sit in a giant mech and, go ahead and attack those monsters. And this is a game based on that. So the first thing you're going to notice about Go Mecha Ball are the mechs that change into balls. Early on, you get just the one, Cat Rascal. But later on, through progression and upgrades and yada yada yada, you gain more mechs. And next up, you're going to have your weapons, abilities, and upgrades. The kinds of weapons you're going to have are going to be like shotguns, laser guns, submachine guns, things of that kind. But this game's going to have its own special spin on them. Like the shotguns are rubber duckies and things like that. And then you're going to have your abilities, and those are going to be like the special moves that you're going to be able to do while you're playing, and those are going to be active, and those are going to be set to your left bumper or right bumper or whatever equivalent that is for you if you are playing on a mouse and keyboard. And then the third thing, your upgrades, and those are going to be like special buffs that you have while you're doing your run. Things like bouncing off of an enemy may stun them or daze them or give you extra damage, things like that. Alright, and more important than all of that, you got your movement. And this game really rewards aggression and constant movement. And for me, it seems like more of a risk-reward system. What I've been trying to find the balance in between is doing the boost at the right time on the enemies, and sometimes I go a little bit earlier. But the movement is key in here. You can launch off of the pads that you see all over the arenas to give yourself some air and drop down on enemies, and that will stun them or cause them to stop moving, which is still a stun. Or it'll give you like an ammo boost, or it'll give your weapons a little bit more oomph. So moving is always key. Standing still is never really rewarded. Or even really encouraged. It seems like, at least to me, the game wants you to constantly stay on the move, and that's accentuated a lot by, I think, the animation. And I know you guys don't know me yet, but I love some good old-fashioned squash and stretch in a enemy or a main character, just to show the exaggeratedness of a movement or how hard something might have hit, and it goes a long way, at least for me personally. And I really like to look out for those things in video games, especially when the animation is so on point in games that are as, I don't want to say simple as this, but with just a main hook. The animation has to be good, at least for me. The music has to be on point, which honestly, I think the music in this game is really good. It's really zany, poppy, and it gets me ready to, kill robots and giant robotic spiders. So I have a good time doing all that. And along with that, I think it's also, of course, important to pay attention to your items and abilities, because there are really good synergies that can happen between them, where a bounce off of this enemy might cause, X, Y, and Z to happen, and then that might give you more ammunition, and getting more ammunition might give you more health and stuff like that. And of course, I'm exaggerating, but it's those kind of things where one thing leads to the next, that leads to the next. It's a really good feedback loop that really keeps you, at least me, keeps you engaged with the game, and it keeps you constantly on the move, coming up with new strategies. Should I stay in the air for this, bounce off the enemy and do that? While I'm in the air, can I shoot these enemies down here? There are a lot of options that you can have, as long as you're quick enough to access them and go through your, switch back and forth between whatever two guns that you can use at one time, or just go ahead and using that boost dash, whatever seems to be good in the moment. And it's the constant push and pull of deciding what to do and what would be best is what really keeps me hooked and engaged in games like this, where the moment to moment, the movement, the combat, the abilities, and things like that are just the main drawing force of the game. And that is pretty much it from me. Thanks for hanging out all the way through that thing I played, or whatever else I decide to call this. I hope to make more of these soon. They may be new games, they may be old games, I'm not sure. Some stuff's going to be me talking about things I'm excited for or things coming up. So, hang out, see what's up. And thanks again for watching this all the way through. Bye. Oh, yeah. And before I forget, because the algorithm has its foot on my neck, don't forget to like and subscribe.